There will be more battles, Talion, but we will find our peace.
Hi all, and welcome to another Game Impressions video. Today I'll be looking at Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. Now, Shadow of Mordor is an action role-playing game set in the Lord of the Rings universe, developed by Monolith Productions and released by Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment. The story of the game takes place between the events of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. Now, if you haven't read The Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings books, or I should say trilogy in this case, you don't need to. It doesn't go into any of those stories, so you should be safe with understanding the plot of this game. Now, the game was released on all consoles. It did come to PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 later than the PC versions and also the current gen consoles.
Father! I'm right here, son. I'm right here.
Now, the story of Shadow of Mordor is based around two characters. One is called Talion, and he's a captain of the Gondor army, and the other one is Celebrimbor. Now, sorry if I have said his name wrong. And he's an elf wraith. Now, Celebrimbor is actually a dead spirit, and he inhabits Talion's body. Now, at the start of the game, Talion and his family are killed as part of a sacrifice for the Black Hand, and this is when Talion is denied his death to be with his family and is met by Celebrimbor, who jumps into his body in a sense, and these two work together. One part of the story is for Talion to get revenge on his family and also save Mordor, and the other one is for Celebrimbor to figure out who he is and what role he played in the rings being made and with Saruman. The gameplay of Shadow of Mordor is split up into two aspects. One is sort of your hand-to-hand melee combat, and the other one is the stealth combat. Now, the melee combat, if you have played Batman at all, any of the Arkham games, it will be very familiar. It uses the same mechanics. It has an attack button, which is X, Y, which is your counter, and B is your stun or your guard break ability. And I played on an Xbox One, so the controls will be similar for the PlayStation 4 and 3 as well. Now, with the melee combat, it is actually really quick, really responsive, and I quite liked it. I think it did a bit of a better job than some of the Batman games have with the counter mechanics. So usually when I've countered in the Batman games, so I've pushed the Y, sometimes if I didn't push to the right spot, I would still take damage. But this game, if you push Y when you're told to push Y, you do the counter no matter what. And building up your combos with the melee combat is really quick and easy. Pushing X a few times will quickly build up your combo meter, and then you can perform the execution kills. Now, the execution kills for the melee combat is really, really good. You get to see the heads being cut off, the blood, the gore, everything. It's really detailed, and I quite like it. Now, with the stealth combat, I found that part of the game really fun too. Now, if you've played Assassin's Creed at all and you know about Eagle Vision, you have sort of the same skill in Shadows of Mordor. This is called your Wraith. It's called the Wraith World, and this is when Celebrimbor actually takes over Talion's body to allow Talion to see the enemies that are around him and also to identify captains and war chiefs. Now, while you're in the Wraith World, your primary weapon will be replaced with a bow and arrow instead of a sword, and the bow and arrow is used for this stealth ability. Now, you can either shoot enemies from a distance, or as you progress through the game, you'll be able to unlock a skill that allows you to sort of teleport behind enemies and either knock them down or kill them. And using both together, I found was really fun. Now, if you do decide to take the melee path option, you will unlock more skills for the melee option, as you do get points rewarded to melee. And now if you do the same for your stealth kills, you do get points to go towards stealth. When I was playing, I balanced both out, so I did have a mixture of both skills, and I found that sort of benefit the game because I just wasn't limited to entering enemy camps with one option, either stealth or melee. Now, with the gameplay in a sense, so what you actually have to do, your objective is to enter Mordor and find 5 war chiefs at the start of the game, and you have to eliminate these 5 war chiefs. And by doing this, you have to go and find captains. Now, these captains are run on a nemesis system, and now this nemesis system is quite unique to the game. If you meet a captain, you will enter a short cutscene, and it will tell you who he is, and you'll be able to find out what his weaknesses and strengths are by interrogating other orcs. And if this captain kills you, he will level up. And when they level up, they get more skills, more health, and they become harder to kill. So you've got to be careful on who you choose to encounter and how you go around fighting them. Now, if they do kill you and you go back and try to kill them again, like verse them again, they'll remember they've killed you and they'll either give you a sly remark saying, "I've already killed you once," or "How do you come back and keep living?" or "You've come back to die again." And that quite made it. I found that part of the game made it really fun and enjoyable because it went back and you sort of had a reason to go back to this captain to get your revenge on him. Now, if you fight a captain and decide to run away, the captain will also remember that, and when you go back to him later on, he will mock you and he'll make fun of you that you ran away and that you're a coward. Now, after you have found the captains and you've killed them and you gain information on the war chiefs, you can go with the war chiefs. And as I said, the first half of the game is based around you trying to go kill these 5 war chiefs. Now, when you finish killing 5 war chiefs, a new area of the game will unlock, and you are able to then go to this second area and find 5 other war chiefs. But your goal in this part of the game is to actually control the war chiefs. So you get ability to control your enemies, and this allows you to enter the game with a new aspect. It allows you to think about how you're going to approach situations in a different manner, which mixed up the first half and the second half of the game quite well. Now, when you unlock the ability to control your enemies, you are able to actually control anyone. So you can control captains, war chiefs. Now, if you're able to control the captains, when you come to fighting a war chief, it makes it a lot easier because the captains have that higher skill and have the high damage output, so they can kill the captains a lot easier. So once the war chiefs are dwindled down to low health, you are able to enter a cutscene with them, and you can either decide to kill them, or you can then decide to control them, and you have to control 5 war chiefs to progress through the game. Now, if you decide to encounter a captain and let him kill you, if you do so, you allow him to rank up, and this actually comes quite good if you want to control him at some point. Now, you have to make sure you can beat him at a higher level, but if you are able to control a high level captain, he'll actually progress and become a war chief himself if he kills that war chief. And yeah, I found that really good. Now, the last bit about the Nemesis is, now if you have empty spots within the captain ranks and a general orc kills you, he'll be promoted into a captain and get new gear and will level up and get more health, and he'll become harder to kill. If someone was to ask me if they should buy this game, I would say yes. I really enjoyed the game. The combat was superb. I quite liked it. The Nemesis system was fantastic. It gave the game a sense of something new. It wasn't just repeating old games that came out previously. The visuals of the game were fantastic. As I said, I really liked the blood gore. The only part of the game that I didn't really find enjoyable was the story. Now, don't get me wrong, the story does open up the Lord of the Rings universe. It does tell you new things that you may have not known about it, and it does introduce you to new characters within that world. But at times I found myself just skipping some cutscenes. I didn't really care about them and what was happening. I just wanted to get back to playing the game. Now, in saying that, I am a Lord of the Rings fan, so I did go back and read the appendix within the start menu to find out more about certain characters and what their role was within Middle-earth. But overall, I really enjoyed this game, and I'm hoping if you do decide to play it that you'll have the same experience as I have and that you'll enjoy it as well. So thank you for watching this another video. If you have any comments or would like any questions answered, please leave them in the comment section below, and don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoy the video. Thank you for watching.
Well, this doesn't bode well. Don't you see? The prisoner created a distraction.